Okay, Bob Evans, we're up here in Draper now, and this subdivision where we are just above the fire is now being evacuated. It is a hard evacuation. We just heard from Draper Police and Salt Lake County, I guess it's just Draper Police, and they are going door to door right now telling everyone to evacuate. The fire is just over the side of the hill behind these houses. And so because of that, they are having this entire subdivision evacuate. Guys, what's the name of this subdivision?
Maple Hollow.
Maple Hollow in Draper.
Yep.
And these guys are with fire?
Yep.
Draper Fire?
Harriman Fire.
Oh, Harriman Fire. You were here with Harriman Fire. Okay. I'm with Fox 13 News. And we're live on Facebook right now. Okay. What are the chances of it coming up over this hill?
Don't know yet. Don't know yet, but we're ready.
Okay. So here we are, Harriman Fire, Unified Fire District, and they are evacuating the Maple Hollow, is that right? Maple Hollow subdivision here in Draper. These are nice homes here, and police officers are going door to door. You can see them there, door to door, telling everyone that they must evacuate. And you can see the people now moving out into the street. They're being told to take their belongings and leave. That's what's going on right now in the Maple Hollow subdivision in Draper. As you can see, this fire, which is just, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll turn this camera around so you can, I can hopefully get a better picture. There's the smoke up above the house, and everyone is evacuating the Maple Hollow subdivision here in Draper. These houses are not very far, just up over that hill. I don't know if you can see it very well, but at any rate, it's time to leave. This fire that started with fireworks in Lehigh, evacuation's underway down there in that end of the street. Sir, I'm Bob Evans with Fox 13 News. We are live on Facebook right now. Everybody's being evacuated. Your thoughts on that? Yep. Do you know? Good. We're live on Facebook right now. Your thoughts on evacuating?
I'm watching this for about 3 hours now.
3 hours now.
And it's coming down at the 1:15, so
It's time.
So what do you think is the best thing? So
Where are you gonna go?
I would either to go to Riverton or down.
Okay. Well, all the best to you. Good luck. And there, good luck. Fireworks is what started this fire, and although we cannot see the flames yet from where we are on this side of the hill, you can see between the houses though. You can see between the houses the smoke coming from the fire. This is a nerve-wracking time for these people, most certainly. As the Maple Hollow subdivision here in Draper is being evacuated. We're getting a look down the hill now, and you can see the smoke billowing from the fire. It was called in at 150 to 200 acres at first, but it is much, much, much bigger than that now. There was some rain that moved through this area not long ago, and it seemed to knock the fire down to some degree from our vantage point down on SR 92. But as you can see now, those flames seem to be growing again, higher up here on the mountain. You can see Lehigh down below. You can see Micron, the back of Micron. And you can see the Maple Hollow subdivision as authorities are getting everyone out of here. It is what they call a hard evacuation, which means that you do not have a choice. You must leave. And so we are going to get out of here in the not too distant future, as well as we continue to keep our eye on these flames. We're told that the suspect in this case, the person who started these fireworks, and from what we understand, they started fairly high up on the hill, but that person is cooperating with authorities, and unknown what kind of situation they will have to face as a result of all of this. You can see the rest of Utah County down below here. We are up on the mountain, and this is actually Draper on this side of the mountain. We are on the south side of Suncrest. You can see the lights in the sky from Salt Lake City. Because the winds, in talking with Doug Moeller, who is a homeowner down over the far side of the hill where we're looking right now, his house was not far away from where the fire was burning and threatened his home at one point. He was evacuated, but he was telling us that the winds originally were blowing from east to west. But now we can tell that they have been blowing west to east, and you can see that is how the smoke is being blown. Although I must say right now it feels like where I am standing that the winds may be coming from the north, going north to south. But again, we're in the Maple Hollow subdivision, and a hard evacuation is underway here because of the fire that has consumed an unknown number of acres. I'm sure we'll get a better handle on that when the sun comes up, and of course you will get the very latest on that on Fox 13 News Good Day Utah Sunday edition coming up in a few hours. Hopefully you can join us on Fox 13 for that. But as you see, the residents here in the Maple Hollow subdivision evacuating now, everyone coming out of their homes, taking their belongings, their valuables, and leaving because of this fire burning right there. It's difficult to know what this fire will do because the winds up high here on this side of the mountain are a little more erratic than they would be a little further down the mountain. But you can see that the wind is still blowing west to east as the smoke is coming toward us. Interestingly though, I am not smelling any smoke where I am right now. But you go down further and you head east from here into Highland and into Alpine, and boy, you can sure smell the smoke over there. So as this hard evacuation is underway, we are going to join the rest of the neighbors who are evacuating, and we are going to get out of here. Draper police on scene. We've got fire trucks. We've got Salt Lake County Sheriff, Draper police. We've got the Harriman Fire Department, which is part of Unified Fire. They're here on scene as well as this fire continues to burn. I think what we'll do is move our vantage point and we're seeing that we've got smoke in Linden. In fact, yes, as I'm looking at some of the comments on our Facebook page here, dispatch is telling everyone to evacuate to Draper Park School. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but as you can see, as the fire department moves into position here, more fire apparatus, trucks coming in from Provo Fire is here. This is a Provo Fire truck. Multiple agencies, as you are well aware, have responded to this because this fire is that big. Here it is, almost 3:30 in the morning, and there is an awful lot of activity here in the homes in Maple Hollow in this subdivision of Draper. As you can see, residents are evacuating now. The fire department these firefighters will set up defensive positions behind these houses so that as the flames approach, if they do approach, they'll be able to defend these homes. Several years ago, a similar situation happened in the hills above Alpine, just to our east. That fire was started by a spark from a backhoe, and it burned up in through Moyle Park and through Lambert Park and up into the hills above Alpine, and there was a firefight that was quite something to behold and quite dramatic. And they came within just moments of losing some of those beautiful homes up there in the hills of Alpine, and hopefully that will not be the case tonight and into this morning as these firefighters take up defensive positions around these homes as these flames draw ever closer. I think what we'll do is stay right where we are for now until we absolutely have to leave. For those of you just joining us, as we look down the hill to the south, in the hills above Lehi, Utah, we are watching a wildfire that has consumed an awful lot of territory already tonight. We are in the Maple Hollow subdivision where mandatory evacuations have been ordered and people are now gathering their things and heading out. Draper Park is where they're headed. Draper Park, I believe, middle school. This has been quite the evening. This fire was started by fireworks. There is someone responsible or at least a suspect, who is working with authorities, and authorities say he is being cooperative. Fire started at about 11:30 from what we're told, and so that is a good 4 hours ago now. And up to this point, we do not believe any structures have been lost. That is what authorities are telling us, at least on scene here. There was a news conference down in Lehi by the fire chief, and hopefully we'll be able to get that turned around and posted on our Facebook page here in the next few minutes. But again, we are up in Draper now on the south side of Suncrest as this neighborhood is being evacuated. So there are two sets of evacuations underway. This Maple Hollow subdivision is being evacuated to Draper Park Middle School, I believe, and then the evacuations down in Lehigh are going to Skyridge High School, which is just to the south of SR 92. The fire department is getting ready now to take up defensive positions. You can see them moving into the backyards of these homes over here, right in front of us. You can see the flashlights from the firefighters getting the lay of the land, trying to figure out what kind of interface is there with those trees and the brush that come up from around the surrounding hills. In the event that those flames come across, and they appear to be getting a little closer, but it's hard to tell exactly because we can't see them beyond the crest of the hill. But now we are beginning to smell the smoke in this area as this neighborhood is being evacuated, and firefighters are setting up their defensive positions. Again, the residents, as they are told to evacuate, are told to turn off their air conditioning, close all their windows and doors so that the smoke doesn't come into the house, because smoke damage is a very real thing, especially when you're dealing with the amount of smoke that is put off by a wildfire like this one. And so that is part of the evacuation procedure, alerting all of the homeowners to turn off their air conditioning so that it doesn't suck the smoke into the house. Again, we're in the Maple Hollow subdivision of Draper, Utah. If you are watching us from across all over Utah and perhaps places beyond that, it is an otherwise beautiful night. There has been some rain that has fallen. I don't know if you can, I don't know if my phone can actually, it doesn't look like it can actually see the sky very well, but as I look above me, the clouds, we did have a little bit of rain that may have affected this fire. From this vantage point up here on the hill, I cannot see the majority of the fire that is burning down below. But the crews on the other side, of course, are hoping and praying that we do in fact get more rain, because most certainly it did affect the flames on the Lehigh side of this hill. But again, with the wind the way it is and the otherwise dry conditions, we could be in for some real trouble if we don't get more rain. The camera, I'm pointing this cell phone camera to the west, and that is where the fire is. Fire started from fireworks, as I mentioned before, and if you're just joining us, the fire was started by fireworks And according to at least one law enforcement source, it happened fairly high up on the hill. And had it taken place any further down the hill, we could have had some real trouble, and we may have lost some structures. As far as we know, we don't think we've lost any structures, but in the nighttime, and with the fire burning as hot as it has been, as the wind picks up a little bit more here in the Maple Hollow subdivision, with the wind or with the fire as hot as it was burning, there is a chance that when morning comes, we may find structures that may have been lost. There are quite a number of homes down in the Lehigh area here that are under construction on this north side of SR 92. The subdivision that has sprung up here, along with the bank and various businesses that have come in here. I remember the days when all of that northern slope of the land to the north of SR 92 was just amber waves of grain, and as the wind would blow and the grain would bend, and it was a beautiful sight. And I remember I was a little melancholy when I saw that the land had been sold, and that Micron was going in, and subdivisions were eventually going in, and SR 92 went from a two-lane road to now a major thoroughfare with commuter lanes and traffic lights and businesses and business parks and all of that. Now, with this fire the way it is, and these homes now all under evacuation, this subdivision, the Maple Hollow subdivision in Draper, is becoming more and more quiet as the firefighters set up their defensive positions around these homes. Yes, absolutely. These mountain wildfires, Nathan Wiest is saying that these mountain fires are incredibly dangerous. They move very quickly and burn uphill. If you're caught in one, you could really find yourself in a lot of trouble. Yeah, there are a lot of memories for a lot of people in this area of Utah County. And you can see more people evacuating, mostly law enforcement and firefighters now from various jurisdictions. Harriman is here, Provo is here, Salt Lake County is here, Utah County and Lehigh and American Fork and Lone Peak Fire District most certainly has responded to this fire as well. Well, at this point, it looks as if the fire has died down a little bit. The winds are just a little bit calmer now. But that will not keep these firefighters from doing what they can to protect these homes from any flames that might come this way. We're hoping and praying that they don't. But if they do, they'll be ready. More residents evacuating now. We are live here on the Fox 13 Facebook page. Bob Evans reporting to you from the Maple Hollow subdivision that is now under a hard evacuation order by Draper Police and Salt Lake County. firefighters from Provo, from Draper, from Unified Fire District, Fire Authority, I should say, Unified Fire Authority, are all here on scene. Multiple agencies are working this. It'll be important to have the sun come up and the sky get light so that they can get a better handle on exactly where this fire has burned and what it has burned. Up to this point, because of the night conditions, it's hard to know exactly how much damage has been done. But most certainly we will continue to follow that, and we'll have the very latest for you on Good Day Utah Sunday edition. But in the meantime, here we are. There are several power outages now. We, in talking with Doug Moeller, who was a homeowner down in Lehigh, down on Season View Court, where we did our first live Facebook Live, he said that he knew of two transformers that exploded and took power out to Traverse Mountain. Now we are being told also that power is out in some parts of Draper and some parts of Bluffdale as well. And now we have another fire truck arriving on scene. This one, I'll see if I can see where it's from. American Fork is on scene now. I'm going to see what more I can see as this neighborhood that was teeming with residents outside in the middle of the night, now into the early morning hours, this neighborhood has fallen mostly quiet now, and mostly firefighters. Here, more residents evacuating. Unified Fire Authority on scene now. Yeah, Misty Teague, this is live. We are live, coming to you live on Fox 13's Facebook page. We are in the Maple Hollow subdivision of Draper that is under hard evacuation orders because of a wildfire that is burning up the mountain from Lehigh, burning south to north. These homes that we are close to are most definitely threatened. As I walk back across the street to show you the view, if we can get a good view of the glow of the fire. Again, the winds seem to be calming down a little bit, at least where we are. They're still there, and you can see from the grass here in the foreground how there is still a little bit of a breeze, but nowhere near what it was before. And typically As we head into the morning hours, the winds tend to calm down anyway. These firefighters from Provo, from Unified Fire Authority in Salt Lake County, from Harriman, from American Fork, are prepared to set up defensive positions around these homes in the event that the flames just over the crest of that hill come in this direction. Lindsay Glazer makes a good point. This is nothing but scrub oak, which is typically a very dry foliage anyway, and perfect fuel for a wildfire. And there is an awful lot of scrub oak, although from this vantage point it is hard to tell exactly how much. I know the camera doesn't see as much as my eye can see at this point, but there is scrub oak all over this hill. And like I say, when it burns fast and hot. So hopefully they won't have to see how hot it burns. And hopefully this fire will stay where it is and not force these fire crews into action in defending these homes. When I arrived here in this Maple Hollow subdivision, there were lots and lots of people out on the streets. And as you can see, many of them have left. There's a gentleman still in this house over here. And there are still one or two people out and about. But most certainly everyone evacuated. And those who have not yet evacuated may well be getting ready to do so. Well, I think for now, since the winds are calming a little bit, you can tell the smoke is not blowing quite so hard. West to east. And considering the fact that the fire crews are setting up defensive positions, I could say, I don't know that you could see them, but I could see them setting up in the backyard of this house that we're looking at here. As one more resident goes to leave. Certainly not all of the residents have left, but they have been ordered to do so. But considering the fact that things are pretty static at this point, I think what we'll do is I will end this Facebook Live for now, and then come back to you live once again when conditions warrant it. Again, you're watching the Fox 13 News Facebook page. I'm Bob Evans in the Maple Hollow subdivision, which is now under a hard evacuation because of a wildfire that was started by fireworks at about 11:30. That's coming up on 5.5 hours ago now. And it has burned an unknown number of acres. We're waiting for the sun to come up to be able to tell exactly how many acres and what kind of damage this fire has burned or has done. And in the meantime, for more detail, I would encourage you to go to fox13now.com, where we are continuing to update this story throughout the morning. So, wishing you a happy and safe morning. And again, we will come back to you when and if conditions warrant.